G'day and welcome to the Inforunners. I'm Execute and welcome to the CCU chaining guide for the IAE for 2021. I'll be writing solo today just so we can get this across really precisely and you guys directly at point. All right, to kick it off today, I'm going to have 4 basic things at the start just to explain to you guys. What is an LTI token? What is a CCU? What is a war bond CCU? And what is a speculation CCU? So an LTI token is a ship of lesser value that you can apply a CCU to or multiple CCUs to take the lifetime insurance of that ship and use it onto another ship that wouldn't normally have LTI. So you can carry that lifetime insurance and give the ability to a bigger ship so it can't be lost ever. So it's a really good advantage to have. A CCU allows you to upgrade from one ship to another of greater value. So you could say take that LTI token and you can basically upgrade it into something bigger by applying the CCUs to it. So for example, you could have a ship that's $100 and you could apply a $50 CCU to it, and then you would have a new ship of $150 value, physically changing the ship from one ship to another though, to get to the ship that you want. A war bond CCU are cash sale only CCUs offered at a discount for fresh cash, and they can only be purchased with that brand new money, because once you spend money, it then becomes RSI credits. And so basically they're incentivizing you to spend new money so that you can get a discount on a ship. So it's a tit for tat. A speculation CCU is basically speculating on future increases in price of ships. So basically you can get a bigger discount. So an example from this year was the Taurus, and the Taurus went up by $40. So basically you bought that, people that bought it the original price before it jumped up didn't have to spend that $40, but now it's jumped, they've saved $40. Another example that you might have seen at CitizenCon was the Bane and Mensch Man. They showed off heaps of cool stuff. So everyone was predicting it was going to jump in price, and it did by $50. Yeah. All right. Moving on. So basically, some people don't realize when actually buying these CCUs on the actual website that you can actually, there's this button here called All Ships. And so by default, this is what the screen would look like. And basically you would click on all ships, and then that allows you to pick a ship that you don't own. So for example, a ship that I don't own is the Mustang Beta, but I went past it. Bear with me here. All right, I'm just going to pick another one. So we'll go the Mustang Delta in this case. And then basically it recalculates on the right-hand side and allows you to pick a ship that that you don't want to go to. So in this case, I'm going to go to the Razor, and then I can basically choose a war bond edition in this case as well if I wanted to, and then it'll recalculate. It will give you this warning saying you don't own a Mustang Delta, but in this case, that's what we actually want, because then we can get those nice little small CCUs and basically link them all together. All right, so going back to our example today, I'm going to basically go through starting at the Spartan. And the reason I've picked the Spartan is it's just a bit easier for new people. But if you are a more advanced user, you would know of the way to do a referral Argo Cargo or Argo MPUV, and that will actually save you a little bit more money. But just for ease of use today for new people, I'm going to start with the Spartan. Right? So using the Spartan, we can use that method I just showed you before to pick up, say, like a Cutlass to a Raft CCU. You can then do a Raft to a Razor. You can then do a Prospector to a Cartel Isle Scout. I've just called it Scout here in the example. Then you can go Corsair to Ares, Mercury to Redeemer. Now, also in the Redeemer, to give an example of a really good, you can jump off at any point here. So you can pick the ship that you want to jump off on. It doesn't just have to be ones that are CCUs. So to give an example, it could be a Caterpillar that's $5 above the Redeemer, and you can bridge that gap with cash or credit. So yeah, in our case here of the Redeemer, your total savings, if you were to jump off the redeemer here, would be you're saving $130 and it costs you $195 instead of $325, but you have to spend a minimum amount of cash with those World 1 CCUs and the Spartan itself of $115. And then you'll obviously have to go back in and either use cash or credit to fill in the gaps, or a combination of both. All right, moving on. We basically then get a Crucible to a Hercules C2. We then get a Prowler to 600i. We then get a 600i to M2. We then get a Banu Merchantman to Carrack. Now, in the example of the title of this video, I've said that you can get, would you like to get a Carrack for $95? So the way the gentleman that did this in question did this was he was able to take CCUs from previous sales. So we've actually had not just IAE this year, we've had Invictus this year, IAE last year, and Invictus last year to do this. And so basically he was able to chain them all together really neatly with no credit or cash required in the middle. And basically they were all $5 and $10, and he was able to string those together. And he started with a referral Gladius. So by using that referral Gladius and putting those CCUs on top, his grand total was only $95. Of cash that he had to spend, which is not to be condescending, but I'm quite proud of that he was able to pull that off, and very impressed, and I wish I'd been able to do that back in the day. The last CC for you today, if you want to get up to the A2, would be a Carrack to an A2, and that gives you a total saving on the A2 of $350, and basically the total cost being $400 with a minimum of $220 spent in cash, which is incredibly impressive if you've got credit lying around. And again, remember I said you can jump off at any point to other ships. So for example, if you didn't pick up this Carrack to Herc CCU, you could basically go from a Carrack to a Perseus as an example, but then you would also have to fill it with cash or credit to get there. With all that said and done, if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Patreon if you want to help us out that way too. Just a couple other things to mention. We've set up a CCU helper channel on the Discord. So if you actually want direct help, come in there, and we have people on the right hand side of that channel that you can message or talk to, and they are people we've verified to help. They know what they're talking about. The free fly is on this weekend. It's a great opportunity to go out and try every ship in the game and work out what ships you would like to buy. If you don't like any of them, maybe it's your first time to the game, it's just a really good example to go out, and now's the time to try. For the next 3 days, it is prime time. The last thing I'll mention too is with the CCUs is don't apply any of the CCUs if you intend to do what the gentleman did with the Carrack. He sat on those CCUs and just waited till more and more and more of them came out, and he's got more and more and more savings. So if you're patient enough and you were able to buy, you could actually do that with more than just one ship. You could actually buy multiples of each of the CCUs, and you, for example, say you wanted 4 ships, you could buy 4 separate chains of those CCUs and string them all together at a later date. And this is your minimum savings today, but taking in Invictus in 6 months and AIA after that and so on, you could save even more money. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, like, subscribe, and if you really want to go that extra mile, help us out on Patreon. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.